Welcome, dear listeners, to another heart-trembling tale on Swoon Stories. Tonight, you will witness a rescue that changes two lives forever, where bravery ignites love and devotion becomes destiny. Have you ever risked everything for a stranger's safety? Share your thoughts below before we begin. May this story fill your hearts with courage and compassion. Let us pray that love's light guides us through the darkest storms. Thank you for joining our circle of dreamers. Prepare for passion, sacrifice, and the promise of healing. The gala hall shimmered like liquid gold beneath crystal chandeliers. Silk gowns whispered across marble floors. Laughter tinkled like wind chimes. At the center, Dr. Adrian Knight, CEO by day and anonymous philanthropist by night, stood alone, powerful, yet painfully distant. How many lives have I saved? And yet none can mend this hollow ache. His tailored tuxedo felt heavier than ever, the scent of roses in the air mocking the emptiness within him. A betrayal years ago had taught him to trust only his own strength. Across the room, Raina Wells, defiant single mother and underground street artist, slipped through the crowd. Her leather jacket contrasted with the opulence around her. Every step drummed with quiet rebellion. She'd never asked for a night like this, but necessity forced her into a charity auction she could scarcely afford. They see a reckless rebel. They don't see the daughter she supports, the dreams she buries each dawn. Their eyes collided when Raina tripped over a waiter's silver tray. Wine arced through the air. Crimson droplets landed on Adrian's pristine cuff. Time slowed. My fault, she whispered, cheeks aflame. Her voice was steel wrapped in silk. Adrian's stern mask cracked. Let me help, he said, producing a silk handkerchief. His fingers brushed hers, electric, undeniable. The auctioneer's gavel banged. An unexpected lot appeared, a charitable contract marriage, bidding to raise funds for orphanages. The highest bidder would wed a stranger for 1 year, no romance. Guaranteed, only mutual benefit. Adrian's secret donations needed legitimacy. Raina needed the prize money for her son's hospital bills. This was no fairy tale wedding. It was a lifeline cast in steel. Before Raina could protest, Adrian raised his paddle. Murmurs rippled. He'd won. Their fates were sealed by a single click of fate's auctioneer. I promised myself no attachments. Yet here I am, binding my life to a stranger's. That night, in a suite scented with jasmine and regret, they faced each other across a mahogany desk. Paper rustled. Terms, conditions, signatures. Raina's pen trembled. She glanced at Adrian's profile photo on the contract. Austere jaw, haunted eyes. What had he lost? Sign, he urged softly, voice almost vulnerable. She obeyed. Ink dried like a silent vow. On their wedding night, an official ceremony in a gilded chapel, they stood beneath an arch of white roses. When the officiant declared, "Them bound," Raina's heart thundered. I didn't save him from this arrangement. He saved me. From despair. Adrian slipped the ring onto her finger. His touch lingered, warm and protective. Suddenly, the chapel doors burst open. A masked intruder lunged toward Raina's father, brandishing a gun. Panic erupted. Guests screamed. Petals fell like tears. Without a thought, Raina shoved her father aside and stepped into the intruder's path. A deafening shot. Adrian reacted in a heartbeat. He pushed Raina behind the altar, shielded her with his body. The bullet lodged in his shoulder. Crimson bloomed against black silk. No! Raina's cry shattered the chaos. She dropped to her knees, pressing trembling hands to his wound. He saved me, and now I will not let him face this alone. Sirens wailed in the distance. The assailant fled into the night. Guests crowded around, helpless. Raina held Adrian as he slumped, white-knuckled on the marble floor. His breath came in ragged gasps. "He's all I have." Her tears fell onto his cheek, mingling with the blood. In that moment, an unspoken promise passed between them. She would protect him now. As medics rushed in, Raina caught one final glimpse of Adrian's dark eyes, fierce with pain, softer with something like hope. The hospital corridor smelled of antiseptic and lilies. Raina sat beside Adrian's bed, fingers laced through the tangled sheets. His breathing was steady now, but each rise and fall of his chest trembled with unspoken questions. Why did he risk everything for me? She brushed a lock of hair from his forehead. The bruise blossomed purple under cuffed white bandages. Outside the window, dawn light filtered through blinds, painting stripes across the floor. Across town, in a sunlit orphanage courtyard, a small boy chased Bubbles. Unbeknownst to Raina, Adrian's anonymous donations paid for that very playground. He'd watched children laugh safely, then retreated into silence, refusing praise. Meanwhile, Raina returned to her loft, a kaleidoscope of spray paint cans and half-finished murals. She found a letter slipped under her door. No return address, just her name scrawled in elegant script. "Your bravery cost you more than you know. Beware the friend who brings roses." Who would threaten me? She glanced at the single red rose on her table, Adrian's gift last night. Its petals lay wilted, ominous. That evening, Adrian arrived unannounced at her loft, crutches clicking on hardwood. Concern softened his features. "You shouldn't be alone," he murmured, voice rough from pain. Raina's defiance wavered. She offered tea. He accepted, steam swirling in the mug like morning mist. He cares. God, he cares. Their conversation was fractured, each word a tender brushstroke. Adrian admitted fragments of his past. A sister lost to a house fire he couldn't prevent. A fiancé who vanished when she learned of his secret charity. His fortress of control built to shield a broken heart. Raina shared her own scars. Nights, working double shifts. The ache of loneliness after her husband's betrayal. Her art was rebellion and refuge. They discovered they'd stood side by side at the same charity ball 5 years ago, never meeting, yet orbiting the same wounded worlds. Suddenly Raina's phone buzzed, a photo message. Raina cradling Adrian, in the chapel. Time-stamped yesterday, but taken from the shadows. Someone had been watching. Her pulse spiked. "They're here," she whispered. Adrian's eyes darkened. He rose, ignoring the crutch. Protective instinct flared. Footsteps approached. Outside, a tall figure slipped through the open door. Adrian's ex-fiancée, Vivienne Drake, face pale with calculated calm. "Miss me?" Vivienne's smile was a blade. Raina stepped between them. "Stay away from him." Her voice trembled. Anger, laced with fear. Vivienne laughed, soft and dangerous. "You think you've won his heart? I built his empire, and I'll destroy anyone who takes it." She held up a dossier. Photos, financial records, forged letters, proof that Adrian's charity funds were embezzled. By him. Adrian's jaw clenched. "Lies," he spat. Vivienne tossed the papers onto the table. They fluttered like wounded birds. Raina picked one. A doctored bank statement showing millions diverted into her account. "I never touched his money." Adrian snatched it away. "This is sabotage," he growled. Vivienne's eyes glinted with triumph. Soon everyone will believe the CEO is a criminal, and his wife, his accomplice. She turned and vanished into the night, leaving Raina and Adrian amid the shredded trust. Silence stretched, heavy as a guillotine. Raina's lips quivered. He trusted me. Now he'll believe I betrayed him. Adrian's hand hovered over hers. Then dropped. "I need to know the truth," he said, voice hollow. Raina swallowed. The weight of proof pressed between them. The rain hammered the rooftops like a drumbeat of doom. Inside the abandoned warehouse where it all began, years ago, when Adrian first funded the orphanage, Raina crept through shadowed aisles of rusted metal. Her heart pounded in her ears. This is the place he showed me once, before everything broke. A single bulb swayed overhead, casting fractured light on damp concrete. Raina's fingers closed around the dossier Vivienne had left, a map scrawled in red ink. She'd come to prove her innocence. Suddenly, footsteps echoed. She spun. Adrian emerged from the gloom, face etched with worry, and something darker. Betrayal. Why are you here? His voice was a low thunderclap. Raina swallowed. To find the real proof, to clear our names. He stepped closer, rainwater dripping from his coat. The scent of ozone and leather filled the air. He still trusts me enough to come. They followed the map to a locked office door. Raina's nimble fingers picked the padlock. Inside, files lay strewn across a desk, photographs of Raina and Adrian, together, doctored to suggest an affair long before their contract marriage. Among the papers, Raina found a videotape labeled Project Redemption. Adrian's jaw clenched. That's my private foundation's archives. No one's supposed to see that. Raina slid the tape into an old VCR. The grainy footage showed Vivienne and a masked accomplice plotting, forging signatures, planting false transfers, and staging Raina's appearance at the charity ball. The final shot revealed the accomplice's face, Adrian's trusted right hand, Marcus Cole. Marcus? Adrian's voice cracked. My brother in arms, my betrayer. A roar of metal on metal startled them. Marcus stormed in, gun drawn, rain sluicing off his shoulders. You should have stayed in your gilded cages, he snarled. Now you'll both pay. Adrian stepped in front of Raina. Let her go. Marcus laughed, cold as ice. She's the perfect scapegoat, and you'll take the fall. He squeezed the trigger. Time slowed. Raina hurled herself at Marcus. The bullet tore into the concrete wall. Shards sprayed like deadly confetti. Raina's elbow caught him off guard. He staggered. Adrian lunged. In the scuffle, the videotape slipped from Raina's pocket, spinning across the floor. No! Raina dove for it. Marcus kicked it away and raised his gun. Adrian pushed Raina behind a steel pillar. The echo of footsteps. They weren't alone. Police sirens wailed in the distance. Marcus snarled. This ends now! He advanced. Adrian squared, his shoulders. I won't let you hurt her. They clashed, fists against gun. The weapon discharged again, grazing Adrian's arm. He fell, crimson staining his sleeve. Raina screamed, rushing to him. He saved me once more. Now it's my turn. She grabbed a metal pipe and swung. Marcus crumpled, dropping the gun. Raina snatched the videotape. Footsteps thundered. Detective Alvarez and her team burst in, weapons drawn. Freeze! Marcus raised his hands, grinning feral. Adrian pushed Raina aside. She knelt beside him, pressing a hand to his wound. You're hurt, she whispered. He managed a pained smile. Worth it. Detective Alvarez cuffed Marcus. Raina held them, tape aloft. This proves everything. Alvarez nodded. We'll verify it. You did good. As they escorted Marcus out, Adrian leaned into Raina's embrace. The warehouse shook with distant thunder. Dark moment. Apparent betrayal. Adrian's phone buzzed. He checked the text. I have your son. Pay me or he dies. It was from Vivienne. Adrian stiffened. Raina's blood ran cold. Your son? She whispered. Adrian's lips trembled. She knows about my nephew. She's using him. Raina's world spun. The child she fought to save, the innocent she protected, was now the pawn in Vivienne's final game. The morning sun filtered through rain-washed clouds as Adrian and Reyna stood on the rooftop of the orphanage he funded years ago. The city stretched beneath them, a tapestry of hope and despair. Between them lay the final piece of their battle, Vivian's ultimatum. Reyna's lips quivered. "She wants your nephew. We have to save him." Adrian's jaw hardened. "She'll kill him if we show our hand." They shared a look, fear, determination, and an unspoken vow. In a clandestine safe house, Detective Alvarez spread the forged dossiers and the Project Redemption tape on a steel table. Marcus Cole, newly arrested, sat cuffed, smirking. Vivian's network of deception lay bare in the footage. Alvarez clicked her pen. "We have enough to indict Vivian Drake for conspiracy, blackmail, and attempted murder." She glanced at Reyna and Adrian. "But first, we need leverage to free your nephew." Reyna placed the tape gently on the table. "Use it." Marcus sneered. "She'll bury you both." Adrian stepped forward. "Not if we expose her publicly. Tonight." Alvarez nodded. "We'll arrange a press conference. We leak the evidence, name her crimes. She won't survive the fallout." Reyna's hand found Adrian's. Strength surged through her. Together, they had turned the tide. As dusk fell, the gala hall where Act 1 began filled again, this time for a charity fundraiser announcing the orphanage's expansion. Guests murmured as Adrian ascended the stage, Reyna at his side, her arm through his. He raised a microphone. "Tonight, we celebrate truth, and those who risk everything for it." His gaze locked on Reyna. Especially her. He spoke of her bravery, her sacrifice, and the love that saved him more times than one. He produced the red rose, now fully bloomed. "Reyna Wells, will you do me the honor of being my wife? Truly this time?" Gasps rippled. Reyna's eyes glistened. He dropped to one knee, offering a ring fashioned from the steel of that warehouse, an eternal symbol of resilience. Tears streamed as she whispered, "Yes." He rose, sweeping her into a fierce embrace. The crowd erupted in applause. Simultaneously, news cameras flashed as Vivian Drake arrived, flanked by lawyers. Suddenly, reporters pressed evidence against her. The tape, Marcus's confession, bank records. Her face paled. The world watched her unravel. Bold, dramatic phrase. Her empire of lies collapsed in real time. Vivian's final cry. "You'll regret this," echoed as she was led away in handcuffs. Back on the rooftop, Reyna and Adrian watched the sunset. The orphanage's laughter drifted upward, a promise fulfilled. Adrian tucked a strand of hair behind Reyna's ear. "We learned that love isn't about control. It's about trust, sacrifice, and standing together when the storm hits." Reyna nodded. "We saved each other." He smiled, tender and whole. "And we'll keep saving the world, one heart at a time." Moral lesson. True love demands vulnerability and courage. Only when we risk everything can we discover our deepest strength. Did this story touch your heart? Share your thoughts and favorite moments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, because love's next adventure is just around the corner. End of She saved him from a robbery. Now he protects her like she's all he has. May your own acts of kindness forge unbreakable bonds.